What's up, guys? It's the Black Empress here. Welcome to my channel. Please like, subscribe, and share so we can grow the community. I just want to do a quick one, hey? Today I'm feeling angry. Today I'm feeling bitter. Today I'm feeling like I've experienced an unforgettable wrong. And I'm struggling with being positive. I'm struggling with being loving. Guys, one of the things that I'm struggling with, apart from my physical circumstances, mentally, one of the things I'm struggling with is my self-worth. And what's making me angry and bitter is how much self-worth I had before getting into a toxic and abusive relationship. Self-worth was never a thing for me. It was never an issue in any manner, fashion, or form. I knew who I was. I walked like I was. I talked like I was. I just, I had all the self-worth I needed as a human being. I mean, I would walk into a room and you would see that self-worth. You would feel it. You would know it. I was so sure of who I was, what I wanted, where my life was headed, until I was in a toxic relationship for a whole fucking decade. And that's what's making me so angry right now. And the person I'm angry at is me. I did this to me. I did this to myself. And that's making me real angry right now. Because I saw him do this to me. I saw him mind fuck me. I saw him, reinforce over and over again how useless I was, how good for nothing I was, how I was not talented, how I would never amount to anything. And I allowed it. And it happened over and over and over again. And I fucking allowed it for 10 years. 10 fucking years, I was programmed into thinking that I was a nobody, that I was good for nothing, that I would never amount to anything. And I allowed it. That's why I'm feeling angry. And I'm feeling bitter towards my ex for having done this to me. Today, I don't feel loving. Today, I don't feel forgiving. Today, I'm not feeling peaceful or like kumbayaring because I'm frustrated with where I'm at now because of what I allowed this man to do to me for 10 fucking years. I'm at a very pivotal time in my life where I need to decide the next big move that not only affects me, but affects my kids as well. I need to decide what I want my life to look like. I need to decide what I want, period, and I'm struggling because I'm realizing I actually don't know what the fuck I want. I thought I knew, but the more I explore the feelings and the emotions around wanting what I thought I wanted, I realized that fuck, that's not even what I want. Doesn't even come close. So I'm feeling very angry today. I'm feeling very bitter because I feel like had I not gotten into this relationship and continued on the trajectory that I was on, of self-worth, of knowing who I was, of being my authentic self, I feel like I would have been far. I would have been far now. But now I find myself right at the beginning. Right at the fucking beginning of who am I? Who am I? Who am I? What do I want? In terms of what do I want? What do I want to look like? Where do I want to live? What do I want to do? The only certainty that I have is my practice. It's my calling. Like for me, over years, it has come to mean everything to me. That and my children, those are literally the two most important things in my life. And that's the only surety I have. That's the only certainty I have in terms of who am I and what do I want. But I cannot be defined by what I do. I cannot be defined by my gifts or my calling or my purpose. Outside of the gifts, outside of the calling, who the fuck am I? Who am I? What do I want? What do I want? I don't know. I don't know. And The reason why I can be so certain that I don't know is because a lot of people think they know who they are, they think they know what they want, but what they actually want is what they have been conditioned to want. What they actually think they are is what they've been brainwashed into thinking they are. So, because I'm aware of all these guerrilla tactics, I am like right at the beginning. I'm right at the beginning. And for me, that beginning is first and foremost realizing that I don't know who I am. I don't know what I want. And let this be a lesson to whoever is still sitting in that toxic relationship. Let this be a lesson to whoever is still in that abusive relationship and trying to lie to yourself that you're going to change the man or it's going to get better or, he's going to get better. Stop lying to yourself and learn from my mistake. Learn from my mistake. And this is very shocking for me to realize, actually, because, for years I've been very mindful. I'm very purpose driven. I'm very present. So, honestly, at this point, I should know who the fuck I am. I should. But I'm realizing that I don't. And I don't because who I was completely erased because someone decided to enforce their idea of me, their version of me onto me. And I allowed it. For so long, his negativity was projected onto me. Not just onto me, but into me. Every time I was intimate with this man, and I knew he hated me, and I knew he harbored, the resentment and bitterness towards me. And yet for years, I allowed him to pour into me. I'm talking about every time he came into me. And I let him do that, knowing the anger that he had for me, knowing that the resentment that he harbored for me, knowing the bitterness that he carried towards me. Damn, he was angry with every woman, come to think of it. To him, women were nothing, women were shit, women were witches, women were fucking bitches. Those are the words that I heard. Those are the words that I was told every waking moment and every time I put my head down to sleep. Bitch, you cheating. Bitch, you lying. Bitch, this, that. Not that he ever called me bitch, but he might as well, because everything that came out of his mouth showed me that he thought I was a bitch, and I allowed it. Wait a minute, baby girl, listening to me right now. Are you going to sit there and allow what happened to me to happen to you? If you needed a sign, mama, this is your sign. Walk the fuck away. What are you waiting for? Another beating? Verbally, mentally, or physically? Walk away, baby girl. Walk away. Mother, I hate you so much right now. How did I let you do this? Not just to me, but to every other woman in my generation. Because guess what? Every time I allowed you to do this to me, I allowed you to do this to my mother. I allowed you to do this to our daughter. How do I teach my daughter self-worth if I allowed you to take it away from me? How do I remember who the fuck I am if I allowed you to erase the memory of all my goodness? How do I become my authentic self if all you spewed and poured onto me was inauthenticity? You hated yourself so much, you conditioned me to hate myself too. Because you hated yourself so much, you could never love me. You hated me too. And yet I stayed. I stayed knowing that you could never love me because you didn't know how to love yourself. I stayed knowing that you had nothing but hate for me because hate is all you know. I stayed knowing that you were slowly erasing everything that I was, everything that I had worked so hard to become. And I stayed. I stayed. I stayed until I realized, fuck, I can't do this anymore. I stayed until I realized that my life was actually at risk. I stayed until I realized that You would do anything to destroy me, to keep me down, to take away every last bit of me. That is when I realized that I couldn't continue to commit to this kind of life. That is when I realized the toxicity I was breeding for my children. That is when I realized, fuck, I deserve better. That is when, in spite of all my inhibitions, in spite of all my fears, I decided to walk away. It was the most beautiful, most incredible, most unforgettable experience. Walking away from you after 10 years of feeling captive, I was finally free. The moment you left, I thought it is finished. Little did I realize, fuck, it's just the beginning. I started to panic when I realized I don't know who I am. I started to panic when I realized I don't know what I want. I started to panic when I realized, can I do this on my own? And yet I had to, because I would be damned if I ever went back. And so my journey began, my journey of self-discovery, my journey of seeking, forgiving, letting go, my journey of telling my story in my words, my journey of fucking remembering who I am. And damn, this was a tough journey if ever there was one. Almost a year down the line and I still haven't figured it out. Where do I go from here? What do I do from here? So help me. So help me. One thing I know for sure, I'll be never one to give up. I will keep going, I will keep pushing, I will keep doing what I have to do. Because this is my life. It is my responsibility, and I will survive by any means necessary. Yes, I'm struggling, but this too shall pass. I am protected, supported, and loved. Keep going, baby girl. Keep pushing one day after the other, one step in front of the other. You will eventually remember who you are. You will eventually know what you want, as will I. Nithandwa ndim, guys.